Welding school is not high school, family. Today, I briefly want to talk to you about a mentality that I have noticed over the years of teaching. That a lot of students coming out of high school and students who are grown, transitioning into other careers, they tend to think for some reason it's like high school, like you just trying to hurry up and get a 70 or 80 a grade to pass on, and then you can hurry up and move to the next stage, and then you get to a job and they say do this, you're like, I don't know how to do this, because you was trying to miss stages and just get a grade. I have seen programs grade people. It doesn't work. The grade thing doesn't work unless you're testing. I can see if you're testing out at the end. I get it. But even then though, fam, you need to focus on learning how to be qualified, not certified. Everyone wants the paper to put on the wall to show their parents, to show their loved ones, to brag and boast among their colleagues about the time and the hard work they put in. There's nothing wrong with that, but you're not going to get nowhere with just certifications. No one asked for my certifications but my mother. Every job I was on, every interview I took, I had my certifications, I had my paperwork. They had a print of my resume in front of them that stated what I had. And you know what they told me after talking to me? Let's get in the booth over here and let me see what you got. Let's step in here and let me see what you got. Could you cut the machine on? They want to see if I could cut the machine on by myself. They want to see if I can remember to cut the gas on, know what right rods to use, what process I'm running. Those are the things that are very important. It's not a grade. It's not like high school, fam. You got to think of it. This is a career. This is like working out. This is the age where everybody act like they going to the gym. If they're not going to the gym, they still acting like it. You know what I mean? So you know you can't get no muscles without working out. Taking some type of supplement, you're doing something. It's the same thing with welding, fabricating, learning the trades. You have to be physically evolved. You can't finesse it. You can't finesse it, fam. I can't finesse no muscles by looking at a piece of paper. I literally have to grab the weight. I have to grab the stinger. I have to do something. I have to hit the trigger, fam. I got to do something. So when it comes to welding, fam, I don't want you to think coming out of high school or changing into a career or picking this up that you want to rush through it. You don't want to rush through it. You want to take your time and you want to learn whatever process it is you're trying to accomplish. Now, let me say this. Earlier through the week, I released a blog and I talked about the age bracket on when you should transition in the trades. And if you miss a step transitioning, it's going to make it hard on your body. It's going to make it hard on you to teach the next generation. It's going to leave you with frustration and bitterness and anger because things just didn't work out for you. You'll see younger welders coming up making more money than you, and you won't figure out, like, you will have some type of way about how you feel about it because you didn't figure out how to transition in the right time. So, family, learn wisely. If you are a young man or a young woman, the age of 15, honestly, the 22, 15 to 20, those are the ages where, those are like the foundational ages. You want to build your concept. You want to build what direction you want to go. Just get some fundamentals would take you over the hump. So that's just your fundamental stages. By the time you hit 20, 21, 22, now you career, but you already got some fundamentals that's strong. Now you can put another 10 years behind you and you can start transitioning into other roles of the trade. You know, where you're doing more engineering or blueprint reading or forming roles in your 30s. Once you step it into your 40s, you get more into your teaching role and you're passing down wisdom and you're owning companies and you selling books and you speaking and you encouraging and you motivating and you writing programs. Like, you have to know what stage to transition in. So all I want to say is when you're learning a trade like welding, don't rush it, family. Take your time, learn it all. Remember, it's like muscle memory. Learn it all. And honestly, it doesn't have an age bracket on it, depending on if you are able and capable to do the work. If you are capable, if you're physically strong and you can do this, yes, you can. But you have to remember, if you're looking for a job, most jobs that do the welding process, 8, 10, 12-hour days. Can you do this? Can you sit down, or can you stand up, or can you do this process? Now, you know you're going to have breaks here and there, but can you do this process? Let's be realistic. I have had older students who tried to finesse me on teaching them, and I still taught them, but they didn't tell me they had disabilities. And then later, I couldn't figure out how they couldn't pick up a simple process like the MIG welding process. It's because they had some disabilities in their hands. And after an hour or two, the hands get to crapping up, feeling, and they couldn't continue. And that's okay, but I can't promise you're gonna get a job. The job don't want to hear that. They're like, hey, they need some 8-hour people. So we have to be realistic when we teaching, realistic with our approach, and that's my goal, family. That's my goal, is to teach you and give you the information you can use. And if you apply this information, family, it's going to help you. And now I am in Little Rock, Arkansas, at Arkansas Baptist College, and we have an entrepreneurship program and a welding program. And our goal is to change the narrative of the city, giving the students and people the opportunity to learn something that can really and literally change their lives. Learning a skill that can pay your bills. And then, like I like to say, then also learning something like selling things. See, that's why I like to say the entrepreneurship and the trades, because every day we wake out the door, somebody's trying to sell us something, from welding hoods, from shirts, from sweaters, to insurance, you name it. They trying to sell us something. So as welders, as entrepreneurs, we have to also have a product to sell as well. So that's what I teach. Not only a skill that can pay your bills, but we have to learn entrepreneurship, we have to learn financial literacy, and we have to have a product. Or we have to represent someone else's product and get some affiliate marketing or something. It's okay, fam, because the world spins on revenue. So we have to make some money, and we can't start from ground zero. That's why welding is so important. That's why I picked welding, because welding is a trade that it don't take a whole lot of time, and you can dive into it, family, and start making money. It doesn't take a whole lot. So that's one thing I love about it. And even the program that we have at Arkansas Baptist College, we're going to have a 6-week program and a 16-week program, geared to help the inner city, geared to help those coming out of high school, geared to help those who want to change careers, get to trade, and dive right back into the industry. If that's you, make sure you hit us up. Open enrollment is now. Make sure you call to get on the waiting list. 501-420-1200. That's 501-420-1200. Remember, sign up now. Get on the waiting list. Tell a friend and tell a friend. And remember, welding school isn't like high school, fam. We're trying to get qualified, not just certified. Hold on. Y'all be blessed. Continue to prosper. I'm out.